Hey buddies, it's Chef Dylan. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make a Nouvelles deck Drytron style. Drytron Nouvelles is such a fun and easy deck to make and has so much flavor inside of it, you're going to want to play it every locals. Before we get started, I'd just like to say thank you to our sponsor, Fusion Gaming, and you can use our code TheBuddyForce5 for 5% off on their website, FusionGamingOnline.com. Now before we get into the video, make sure that you preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and please wash your hands. Let's start off with our monster ingredients. First, we're going to play 2 Bouillabaisse de Nouvelles. This is the level 1. When it's special summoned, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck and add 1 Nouvelles card from those 5 to your hand and shuffle the rest back. It has a second effect where if this card is targeted by a card effect or by an attack, you contribute itself and 1 attack position monster on the field to special summon 1 level 2 or 3 Nouvelles ritual monster from your hand or deck. Next we play 1 of the level 2 Conflagration de Nouvelles. When it's summoned, you can target 1 spell or trap on the field and destroy it. It's got the same second effect as Bouillabaisse, except instead of special summoning 1 level 2 or 3 Nouvelles ritual monster, this one summons 1 level 3 or 4. Then we play 1 copy of the level 3 Bouillabaisse de Nouvelles. When it's summoned, you can draw a card, and then this time its second effect is when any monster on the field is targeted by a card or effect, or when any monster on the field is targeted for an attack. It then lets you tribute 1 Nouvelles monster, so not just itself, but any Nouvelles you control, and 1 attack position monster on either field, and it will special summon 1 level 4 or 5 Nouvelles ritual monster from your hand or deck. Then we play 1 of the level 4, Foie de Nouvelles. On summon, it can target up to 3 cards in any of the graveyards and shuffle them into the deck. It's got the same secondary effect as Bouillabaisse, but it special summons 1 level 5 or level 6 Nouvelles ritual monster. Then we play 1 of the level 5 Baumeunier de Nouvelles. On summon, it can add 1 Nouvelles or recipe card from your deck to your hand. This one has a different secondary effect. It targets an attack position monster your opponent controls, tributes it, and then special summons 1 level 6 Nouvelles ritual monster from your hand or deck. This effect is not a quick effect unless Baumeunier was summoned off of the effect of a Nouvelles monster. So if you used Bouillabaisse or Foie to summon this, then you can use that as a quick effect. Then we play the level 6 Belgril de Nouvelles. On summon, it negates all face-up cards your opponent controls till the end of the turn. Then, if you summon this card with the effect of a Nouvelles monster, like Baumeunier or Foie, then it tributes as many monsters as your opponent controls as possible. It then has a quick effect where you can target 1 attack position monster your opponent controls, tribute it, and if you do, special summon 1 Hungry Burger from your hand or deck. Speaking of which, we do play 1 copy of Hungry Burger. That's it for the Nouvelle monster ingredients. On to the Drytron ingredients. We play 3 Drytron Alpha Thuban. This is the one that adds a ritual monster from your deck to your hand when it's summoned. We play 3 of the Zeta. This is the one that adds a ritual spell when it's summoned. And then we play 3 Delta. This is the one that lets you draw a card by revealing a ritual monster or spell in your hand. We then play 1 copy of Magician of Black Chaos Max. Using the Drytron engine and Nouvelles, this is super easy to summon out, and it is a very powerful card, especially when combined with Dynamundo, but we'll get to that later. Next, we play 3 Cyber Angel Benten. This card is really good at helping you extend and basically making your ritual summons free by continuously adding back Benten to your hand. Or you could add our next card, Diviner of Herald. Diviner of Herald is the normal summon for the deck. When it's summoned, you can send a fairy monster from your deck or extra deck to the grave, and it gains the level of that monster. A lot of the times you're going to be sending Herald of the Arclight, because Herald of the Arclight will let you search a ritual monster or spell. And last, for our monster ingredients, we are running 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Now that you have all your monster ingredients laid out, make sure you put them into a bowl and combine. Let's move on to our spell ingredients. We're playing 1 copy of Nouvelles Restaurant at Table. This is the field spell for Nouvelles. When it's activated, you can add a recipe card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and then once per turn, place a ritual monster from your hand on the bottom of the deck and draw a card. Then during the end phase, you can target 2 cards in your graveyard, including a recipe card, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, and then draw 1 card. So it's an add, and it lets you draw 2 cards throughout your turn. Then we play 3 Voici la carte, today's menu. I think I pronounced that wrong. This card is also really good. It's the archetypes preparation of rites, pretty much, or pre-prep. You reveal 2 Nouvelles monsters with different names from your deck, and your opponent chooses one of them to add to your hand. Then, depending on the type that the monster they selected was, it'll let you add one of the ritual spells. If they picked a beast warrior, you can add the fish recipe, and if they pick a warrior, you can add the meat recipe. Speaking of which, we have 1 copy of both fish recipe and meat recipe. Fish recipe summons any Nouvelle by trading monsters in your hand or field. It has a secondary effect where if you are ritual summoning Belia-based the Nouvelle with it, you can add 1 recipe ritual spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Except fish recipe, so you're adding meat recipe. Meat recipe has the secondary effect where if you summon Confilade de Nouvelle using it, it changes all defense position monsters your opponent controls to attack. Then for the Drytron stuff, we're playing 1 Drytron Nova and 1 Medionis Drytron. Medionis Drytron is how we are going to be getting out the Black Chaos mechs, and it's actually quite easy in this deck, mainly because you can use Belia base to make a Mu Beta Fafnir if needed, and then the 1 Nova. For the rest of the spells, we play 2 Forbidden Chalice. The reason that we play Forbidden Chalice is because it can target any face-up monster on the field, which means you can target your own monster. Let's say you have Belia base on the field, you can activate Forbidden Chalice, target Belia base, and then that will trigger its effect to tribute your opponent's monster and itself. We then play 2 Book of Moon, because Book of Moon is a pretty good card this format. And lastly, we play 2 copies of Celestial Observatory. This card places 1 level 6 monster from your hand or face-up field on the bottom of the deck, and then lets you draw 2 cards. This deck actually has quite a lot of level 6s, and most of the times if they're in your hand, they're kind of a brick. Bay Grill and Hungry Burger are both level 6s that you don't want to see in your hand, so if you've already used the field spell's Shuffle Back effect to draw 1, you can use Celestial Observatory to shuffle it back and then draw 2. If you have an extra Benten in hand, you can use it on that. And you can also use it on your Diviner. If you don't end up using your Diviner that's on the field, if you send Herald of the Arclight, that means it counts as a level 6 monster till the end of the turn. So you could even send the Diviner back to your deck and draw 2 cards. That's it for all our spell ingredients. We're going to combine those with the monster ingredients in the same bowl and mix. And then lastly, we are going to garnish it with the 1 trap card we play, Chef's Special Recipe. Chef's Special Recipe is a counter trap that reads when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated while you control a Nouvelle ritual monster, negate the activation. Then you can destroy that card if the monster you control was special summoned by the effect of a Nouvelle monster. This has a secondary effect where if you special summon Hungry Burger, you can banish this card from your graveyard and tribute as many monsters your opponent controls as possible. And that's it for the main deck. Let's take a look at our extra deck ingredients. We have 2 Herald of the Arclight, When Herald of the Arclight is sent to the graveyard, it lets you add one ritual monster or ritual spell from your deck to your hand. This is what we're going to be sending off of Diviner most of the time. We then have the one copy of F.A. Dawn Dragster and one copy of Baronne de Fleur. On to the Xyz ingredients, we have 2 copies of Drytron Mu Beta Fafnir. This is how we're getting the Meteonis to grave, this is how we're getting any extra Drytrons to grave, and it's how we're getting out the Magician of Black Chaos Max. And then we're playing one more Xyz, and that's one Lyralus Ensemble Roblin. Then the rest of the deck is Link monsters. We have the one copy of Dynamundo. This card came out in Photon Hypernova. When it's special summoned, you can target one card on the field and one ritual monster in your graveyard, shuffle both into the deck. Then during your opponent's turn, you contribute this card to target one ritual monster in your graveyard, and then you can either add it to hand or special summon it. This is how we're getting out Black Chaos Max most of the time. We will get it onto the field using Meteonis, and then we will link it off to make Dynamundo, and then during our opponent's turn we can activate Dynamundo to special summon back Black Chaos Max, then activate its effect so our opponent cannot activate monster effects for the rest of the turn. Next we're playing one Lina, the Light Charmer Lustrous, and one Dark, the Dark Charmer Gloomy. Because we are playing Drytrons and Nouvelles, those are both light and dark monsters, and we don't really need a lot of our extra deck, so we put both in just to have them. Next we play the one Nightmare Unicorn. Then onto the Link 4s, we play one Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax, one Access Code Talker, and one Appaloosa. Like I said, the extra deck is not very tight with this recipe, so you're able to add in a lot of variety that you need. So you can pretty much summon these for any situation. Lastly, we do play one copy of Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. This is because it's very easy to get 4 monsters out onto your field, so if you need to link away one of your opponent's problem cards, this is the easiest way to do it. Great, now that we've got our main deck all combined here, you're just gonna take it out of the bowl, and you can see we've got a baking tray here with some parchment paper on it, and you're just gonna nicely lay out all the cards. It's okay if they overlap. Not everything has to be perfect. We're not too concerned about the rarities here. Just layer it over, kind of like you're making scalloped potatoes. Yes, get them nice and all layered out. Just make sure everything's nice and even. Okay, awesome. And now that we have our main deck laid out, we're just gonna gently garnish it with the extra deck here, creating a nice layer over top. Perfect. Doesn't that look amazing? Look at that. Now we're just gonna take our deck here and throw it in the oven. Now that it's in the oven, all we need to do is set a timer for 10 minutes, and now we wait. Make sure you use oven mitts, because it will be hot when you take it out of the oven. Wow. Look at that. Ooh, I just want to dig into this right now. Spicy, spicy. And there you have it. That's how you can make your own Nouvelles deck recipe, Drytron style, at home. If you guys enjoyed the video and you'd like to see more content like this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.